Okay, so good morning guys. As I said, this is Grant Davidson here, Senior Applications Engineer at TMS CAD Centre, and yes, exciting times ahead as 2016 is on the horizon. So we've been working hard behind the scenes to bring you the best release of the software yet, and also working hard preparing all the rollout information to show you guys the new software release, of which I'll have information at the end of this webinar. So what will we be seeing in the webinar today? Well, I thought I would put together just a nice summary webinar of preparing for 2016. So the process of upgrading, what are the best practices, what should you do ahead of time, what should you do in terms of installation. I thought I'd answer some of these questions for you today. And in addition to that, what we've also done is I've actually thrown in a cheeky little bit of the 2016 software rollout, just to let you guys see a little bit behind the scenes ahead of the date, so don't tell anyone. Let's get started with it. So upgrading SOLIDWORKS is something that we need to be careful with, of course. If you've done any software customization, you want to be sure you're not going to lose that. And that's really what we're going to focus on in this webinar, doing a safe upgrade. Now, we've listed it into 3 simple steps, of which we're going to step through today. So stage 1, backup, backup, backup. So we want to make sure any customizations you guys have made are not wasted and you won't need to do them again. So we're going to make sure that we've got everything backed up and safe, stored away. Then we'll turn our attention to the installation itself. Common questions here are, where do I download the new version from? Will I receive a disk? Things of that nature. Then finally, we're going to have a look at some cleanup stuff as well. So that's going to involve things like removing 2015. So if you're happy on the new software, removing your 2015 and also doing a bit of cleanup work with your templates and formats and such. So a really good packed webinar for you guys today. As I say, following on from this, we're going to show you a little bit about 2016, a little sneak preview at it, first look. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get going with it. So I'm in SOLIDWORKS 2015 at the moment, and where am I going to begin? Well, first things first, I need to know where my document templates are stored. Now, I have mine set to the SOLIDWORKS default here, guys. So that is C Program Data, SOLIDWORKS 2015, Templates. That is where SOLIDWORKS will install your templates if you haven't edited any of the settings. Why is this relevant? Why do we need to be aware of that? Well, if we've added any custom templates in, that's where we're going to find them. So let's navigate to that location basically. Using my standard Windows browser here, I can open this up and I'm just going to follow that path. So I'm going to go for C, Program Data, I'm going to locate SOLIDWORKS and the big long list of applications on your machine most likely. In here, I'm going to go for 15. Now, just to save any confusion, guys, I'll mention at this stage, I do have 2016 installed on this machine already prior to the webinar, so that's why you'll see little bits and pieces of 16 strewn throughout. So I'm going to double click in my SOLIDWORKS 2015 folder here and go for my templates. Now in this templates folder, I'll find all the templates available to me in SOLIDWORKS. However, when we install 2016, it's automatically going to put our assembly template back on. It's automatically going to put our part template back on. So we don't really need to worry about them unless you've made customizations and written over the standard templates. We don't really need to worry about them. The reason I'm in here is because I have my TMS standard template, which I want to make sure is backed up. So I'm going to copy that one. I'm going to go to just somewhere convenient on my machine and I'm just going to create a new folder. Let's give this one a name of Webinar Backup. And in this folder, we're just going to go ahead and paste it in there. Why are we doing that? Well, when we go through the installation process of 2016, there is a chance that the default location could be overwritten. So we want to make sure that we've removed it from the default directory and we've got it somewhere secure and backed up, basically. Now that's our template backed up. Let's turn our attention now to the formats. So any drawn formats you guys may have, if you've never touched formats in SOLIDWORKS, You don't even need to worry about this, but for those of you who have, and I know a good few of you have, this is what we need to do. So navigate again to the location specified in your file locations. So similar location, guys, same area, just rather than clicking on templates, we're going to click on the Lang folder. We're only going to have English in there, most likely, and we're going to go for sheet format. Again, guys, there's no need to back up absolutely everything in here unless you've made customizations to them all. We only need to back up the ones that we've either A, created from scratch, or B, updated and kept the same name. In my case, just my TMS standard. I'm going to copy that again. I'm going to go back to that desktop folder that I created, and I'm going to paste it in there. So what I'm doing there is, again, just similar to my template, I'm looking to make a backup which is out of the original directory. Okay, and there we go. All looking good so far. We've got our templates backed up and formats. Now, last thing we need to consider is if we are toolbox users, have we customized the toolbox in any way? If we have, we're probably going to look to back that up as well. Now, your SolidWorks data folder basically represents your toolbox, so it may be the case that you would like to take a copy of that as well and save any settings that you've got in there. That can be quite large though, guys. It will take a bit more time, so just budget a bit of time for that one. Okay, and we're all backed up now. Everything is finished. What do we do next? Well, we're going to turn our attention to the installation. Now, we obviously need some media to start the installation, and where do we get that media from? Well, TMS will send you guys out discs. You will get discs which we term as media packs that has everything you need in it for the new release. If you don't want to wait on that, you want to be quick and get 2016 first, or you lose your discs or something else happens with your media pack, we can retrieve the download set from the SolidWorks website. If we go to solidworks.com and click on the login section here, what we're looking for is the customer portal. This is what will allow us to download it. By the way, guys, when you call us in and we're doing a bit of work trying to troubleshoot faults and such for you, this is where we are, the VAR Resource Center. This is our special login area of the SolidWorks website. However, the one I'm going to use today is the one you guys have access to, the customer portal. So I'll put my credentials in. If you don't have an account, create one, nice quick process, and just hit login. When we're in here, there's a bunch of stuff that's really helpful. So we've got support information here. You've got some references. We've got access to the community area, so our forums, user groups, certifications, really useful. But the one we're particularly interested in today is going to be the downloads and updates section. This is where we can download from. So I'm going to click in here, and what you'll see is all SolidWorks products are available to you. All we need to do is click on which one we want to download. Now we are on version 2015 right now. We're going to switch to 16, and you'll see that the pre-release software is in there. Just a word of warning as well there, guys. If you are watching this webinar thinking, yeah, can't wait to upgrade to 2016, the pre-release software is generally not recommended for production machines just because it is pre-release. I believe, however, SP0 is now available on the customer portal. So if we're going to go ahead and download it, we're going to click on our SolidWorks product. We're going to look to accept the end user license agreement, and it'll run that download for you. When you do that download, guys, what you'll find is it'll download surprisingly quick. That's because what we've downloaded there is the installation manager for 2016 rather than the full file set. It's not until you start the process it'll actually download the full set of SolidWorks. Now do yourself a favor here, guys. Before downloading, set yourself up with a nice little folder here. So I've got one on my D drive, just SolidWorks service packs. If I go in here, this is where I'll put all my downloads from the SolidWorks website. Just keeps them all in one easy, convenient location. And here's a great tip as well. If you do have colleagues who are upgrading also, rather than doing the same 8 GB download time and time again, just have one person download it and you can distribute this to your colleagues. It's shareable. Now what I've done here, guys, is you'll see I've got 2 separate downloads. Now in my case they are identical, But you want to be careful with this. When we do a download from the customer portal, we want to make sure that we've got the full file set. Now the full file set is approximately 8.5 gig, as I mentioned. Now sometimes if you get an error in your connection or you accidentally download the wrong product, you may end up with a partial file set, which can cause problems during installation. Best way to check, guys, right click on the file set itself and select properties, and that will show if you've got the full 8.5 gig file set or if you've only got a partial download or patch. We will always want to use the full download when upgrading to a major version. Once complete, we'll get our nice new 2016 icon here, and we can go ahead and fire that up for the very first time. Now that concludes stage 2, the installation process of the software, and now just stage 3. All that's left to do is a quick bit of cleanup work. And for many of you, I know this will be your first look at SOLIDWORKS 2016, and you can see it running in the background there. So what do we need to do in terms of cleanup? Well, remember those files that we backed up, the template and the format? Well, we need to reassociate them to 2016 now. How do we do that? Well, I'm in that desktop folder I created where I backed up my information to, and I basically want to put these back in. How do I do that? Well, let's go into the options in 2016 and go to my file locations. In here, again, you'll see the document template location. So SOLIDWORKS 2016 templates. So all we would need to do here essentially, guys, is navigate to that location and paste in our TMS standard template. 2016, we'll then be able to pick it up out of that location. Same goes for the format. We're going to navigate to that location and drop in the format which we'd saved. And that's it. And again, same with Toolbox. You may look to upgrade that as well. And there we go, guys. We have 2015 running. And in terms of cleanup work, you may wish to then go ahead and take 2015 off now that we've got 2016 running. How do we go about that? Well, if I go ahead and go into my control panel here and look for my programs and features, I'll be able to uninstall it. Before I do, crucial that we close any SOLIDWORKS products which may still be running. So I'm going to close down my 2016, go to my control panel here, into my programs and features, find my SOLIDWORKS installation for 2015, and I can just choose to uninstall that one basically. So you'll see here that I do run several versions on my machine for supporting customers on all sorts. Generally though, you'll probably just be running one version yourself. So go ahead and uninstall your old version once you're all up and running. And that's it, guys. That's really all there is to it. So you're going to back up any information you've customized. You're then going to go ahead and do the installation either from your disk or from a download from the customer portal. Then you're going to do a quick bit of cleanup work. So associating any templates or formats that you may have backed up and removing the old version. That's really it. Now guys, to conclude this webinar, I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek at SOLIDWORKS 2016. Well, one of the features that are in 2016 anyway, and this is a good one. Quite excited about this one and quite excited to show you guys today. So let me show you this one. So oftentimes when we're working with assemblies, there are many moving parts and therefore lots of degrees of freedom in there. Now with so many degrees of freedom, these assemblies can sometimes be challenging to manipulate. This is especially true the further you get from a fixed component. I'm sure you guys have been in a similar scenario to that before where it all just doesn't respond correctly. Now, a lot of users will set up different views, they'll set up different configurations to try and manage that. However, it's all a little bit of a tedious process. This has been recognised in 2016, however, and addressed with the new make controller command. If I go ahead and edit this, let's take a look at how it works. So first, I'm going to gather all the mates that I want to control. Then, I'm going to go ahead and add some control into them. So the supported mate types, which are available in the mate controller, are angle, distance, limit distance, slot, and width. Now these mates in this assembly have been named to make them easier to recognise. And the last mate in the list is a limit mate for the gripper subassembly. Now, once we've gathered all the mates that we want to control, basically, you can start creating positions for the assembly. In this example, we already have some created. You can see that we've got a home position and some more in there as well. If I drop this down, you can see that we can position it over the object. We can move it down to pick the object up. We can close the jaws over and we can lift that object up. Let's add some more positions to go ahead and place the object. So these positions can be given descriptive names if you want to, and then you start to manipulate the individual mates to position the assembly. Limit mates can be manipulated with a slider or spin box, and lock icons are provided to unlock mates so that those parts can be positioned graphically on screen. Once we're satisfied with the position we've got, we can update that mate and go ahead and create some more. Let's get this into position for our new position that we're adding in. Then we'll twist the arm. We'll go ahead and position the wrist. Update that view and create a new one. To release the object, we'll open the gripper. Save that one, and let's finish by creating a new home position. Now that we have all the positions to represent how the robot should move, we can easily switch between them. But it doesn't stop there, because we can use SOLIDWORKS to go ahead and animate between all our different positions, which is great for getting realistic feedback on the model. There's also a slider bar at the bottom, which will allow you to manually run through the range of motion. Now, to make communication quicker, you can save this out as an AVI file, and if you've got PhotoView 360 loaded in, you can use that as well. Now, to take it a step further, the Make controller can also be imported into SOLIDWORKS Animator. Here you can add in additional components, modify the key points, basically add more information, then go ahead and save it out. For sure though, the new Make controller is a fantastic enhancement, and hopefully if you guys can make it along to a rollout event, you'll see a little bit more about this feature as well as all the other new ones. Now that does conclude our webinar for today, guys. However, just to draw attention to it before we finish up here, all this talk of 2016, if you are interested in coming along and seeing a bit more, these are the dates that we're going to be presenting SOLIDWORKS 2016 to you. So it's a morning, you guys can come along, grab a coffee, have a chat with any of the guys from TMS here. We're also going to be joined by the technical director from SOLIDWORKS, so it's going to be great to be able to have a chat with him as well. These are the dates on screen. So we will be in Glasgow, Hampden Stadium, 20th of October this month. Edinburgh will be in on the 21st of this month, and then we'll be moving up to Aberdeen on the 22nd. So it'd be really great to see you guys there. Absolutely everyone is welcome to come along, ask questions, see about the new software, basically address any concerns that you have, or just have a look at it. Now, that does conclude our webinar for today, guys. Again, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we hope to see you at these rollout events happening soon. But for now, guys, have a fantastic weekend. Cheers.